Hi, today I wanted to talk about the first reading from the book of Exodus. It's a story everybody is familiar with. We might not know the exact verse or chapter, but we all know the story of 10 Commandments and how God gave them to Moses. As a psychologist and a practicing Catholic, many people will challenge me on the idea that the commandments are nothing more than trying to strip people of their free will. You must do this, you must not do that. And I argue that I think the denial of doing what comes naturally or what's immediately satisfying to us, that is free will. Choosing not to do what is satisfying in the moment or resisting temptation is very hard to do. We sometimes don't want to do it, but I think that is what free will really is. As an example, I recently had a disagreement with a coworker, and afterwards I was informed this person was saying bad things about me, making things up, basically putting me in a negative light. Later that day, I found myself talking to a friend who had heard about the exchange I had with the coworker, and I immediately felt the urge to talk down about my coworker, to point out the things they had done wrong, basically defend my honor. I chose not to, though. I remember we're not supposed to bear false witness or gossip or so forth, according to the commandments, and I very much wanted to honor that, difficult as it was. I do know God knows how difficult it was for me. He knows how hard it is to go against our basic urges and what's immediately satisfying, instead doing what He asks us to do. As a visual, I think of the Super Bowl recently. I think of myself at the 50-yard line with my friend having this discussion, and the stands are filled with angels and saints. Jesus and Mary are in the press box, and God is up above watching me to see how I execute this play. And when I decide to withhold my speaking ill of the other person, I hear tremendous cheering and wild fist pumping and so forth. Everyone celebrating in that moment with me, and God looking down, happier than anyone, raising His number one finger saying, I celebrate you. I think that's what following the 10 Commandments is about. It's following a path that God gave us to bring us closer to Him, to please Him, so He can enjoy seeing us grow as we get closer to the kingdom of heaven. Thank you very much for listening to my thoughts and my stories. I wish you a blessed Lenten season and a glorious Easter.